We're dropping by the IGF section of the GDC show floor to catch up with Subset Games, who gave us FTL not so long ago, and you picked up a few awards, as I understand it.
We were lucky enough to get a couple of awards, yes. We got the Excellence in Design with the IGF, as well as the Audience Award. And then in the Game Developers Choice Awards, we got the Best Debut Game for our brand new studio.
Cool. In your own words, what is FTL?
FTL is a starship command simulator. It's a game that focuses more on the command of a spaceship rather than the piloting of a spaceship. We wanted to put you in Captain Kirk's shoes and yelling, there's a fire in the shield room, and target their weapon systems and do the things you see in Star Trek.
And of course, it all started, or it didn't all start, but the Kickstarter was sort of the catalyst that sort of brought it to the forefront, and since then, it's just been an overwhelming success story for you guys. Can you describe what it's been like these months since you launched the Kickstarter?
Ever since the Kickstarter, it's been about a year, and it's been just a non-stop whirlwind of excitement and work and stress and everything that you can imagine out of game development. The 6 months leading up to the release was a lot of work and a lot of people watching, and it was really stressful, but it kind of obviously came to fruition, and it was worth it, and it was awesome. Yeah.
Is it a good sense? I'm sure you meet up with a lot of people who have been following you, been playing the game here, and you get to talk to them. What's that like?
It's awesome. It's really surreal and weird. And we just work by ourselves in our apartments making a game, and now we come to something like this, and people love it and want to come talk to us. And we meet people that make games that we love that like our game, which is really weird as well.
I can see that. So, because the idea is something that I think a lot of people really took to, but it's something. How did you come up with the idea? Because it's something that people really were attracted to, but still hadn't really experienced before. So how did you come up with it?
We were experiencing similar things in board games. A lot of board games seem to do the spaceship simulation with kind of a command aspect, while computer games are doing this piloting, dogfighting mostly, and with a lot of exceptions in the distant past, but not recently. And so we just wanted to bring that same command experience to the PC. Watching shows like Star Trek, you watch the commander, you watch the bridge, you see the commands, you don't see the pilot doing his dogfighting. And so that was the experience that we thought we needed.
Perhaps your closest relation, rather than the dogfighting game, is something like our team is bridge simulation or something like that.
Yeah, something like that, for sure. Yeah, the dogfighting game has very little in common with FTL.
So, can you tell us a little bit do you have any plans for the future with FTL? Are you looking at other platforms or anything like that?
We're looking at porting it to tablets right now. It's just a big UI challenge, and we don't want to just cash in on it. We want to make sure that we get something that really does work. We're worried about fitting everything into the screen and doing the touch controls, and until we're positive that's going to work, we can't say that it'll happen.
So maybe once the tablets have a little bit higher resolution, it will be easier to fit everything?
On the Retina display on the new iPad, I mean, that would be easier. They just have a higher resolution. But just the size alone, like, you only have so much space, and you need the touch controls, and you need it to look good, and you need to be able to actually read things. So it's not just purely a pixel resolution issue, it's just a size issue.
So would it be a case of, would you consider cutting down the features to fit it onto that, or?
No, we would never cut down yet. That's part of it again. We want to bring that experience to the tablets. We wouldn't create a dumbed-down version to get on the tablets.
So what do you think? Obviously, there's a great community that's grown out of this game, and sort of looking. What's your thought on that, and sort of how it sort of spiraled out of what you left gamers with and to what it is today?
It's bizarre seeing that community build. It's exciting to see that everybody has a shared vision, that when we were making the game, we didn't think anybody else would be interested. And then once we put it out there for people to see, it seems like everybody has been waiting for a game that does the commander thing. And I hope that the community shows, and the excitement of the community makes other developers make similar products. Yeah.
So how do you see the future for Subset Games? Do you want to keep a small team and work on FTL, or do you want to spread out to other projects, or what kind of future do you see for you guys?
We're going to stay small. We have no interest in becoming a big studio. We like being small and being able to have complete control over what we're working on. But right now we're probably thinking more about new projects than further FTL work.
Anything you care to share?
Nothing we would even have to share.
Right. So so we have to stay tuned. Do you think that you'd take the Kickstarter route again with a new project, or are you in a position where you don't really need to do that anymore?
We were lucky enough that the Kickstarter did what it's supposed to, which was just kickstart us into being reasonably successful, and so we don't have a need for it anymore. It was great and helpful, and we couldn't have done without it. But at this point, we're in the lucky enough position to be able to self-fund, hopefully, our next project.
Safe travels. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.